Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Alright, hey, what's up everyone?
What's up, YouTube?
Welcome back to another episode of Race to 100. I'm Rick Storcell.
I'm Neil Butang, your co-host. Thank you for tuning in.
And we are on episode number 42.
42.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
moving along, man.
Moving along. Almost halfway there.
So, I have a question for you.
What's up?
We live in Chicago, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, you've told me a couple of times when we've had conversations before about issues when it comes to gaining access to bars, for example.
Yeah.
There was a recent story, I think a couple of days ago. It was on a totally different continent, but Ireland. There was these African Americans who, I think they were African Americans, who tried to gain access to a bar. The bouncer said there are no blacks allowed, and that made a huge national story that made all of these newspapers and all that stuff. But isn't that something that goes on a regular basis, whether it's as explicit as that or implicit as you're not wearing the right type of shoes or something like that? Is that something that you've had to deal with?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, most African American males in this country can tell you of a time they tried to go into a bar or nightclub and the person guarding the door was hating for whatever reason. You never quite know if it is because of a racial issue, or is it because they aren't adhering to the dress codes of whatever venue they're frequenting. For example, there are times when guys can't get into a club because they're wearing, J's. You know what I'm saying? I mean, excuse me.
Way too white for this.
Colloquials. Rick doesn't do colloquials. J's, like Michael Jordan shoes. Jordans.
Really?
Jordans, yeah, and Jordans are expensive shoes. They're considered like the cream of the crop when it comes to like shoe gear. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So there are people who haven't gotten entry into nightclubs when wearing Michael Jordan shoes, when you can get into a nightclub for wearing a pair of $20 loafers you got from Payless. Not that one is better than the other, but you kind of see where that's coming from. Or sometimes a person has jeans that are too big, or just the things like
really,
that.
they point out that and do bouncers make it explicit when it comes to why they deny access?
I've never. Well, here's the thing. Actually, there are articles out there, Ricks, where you can talk about that discuss the relationship between getting into bars, access / entry into bars, and the color of your skin. Asians deal with it a lot as well.
Really?
Yeah, but the thing is, there are more, in my experience and from what I've read, based on what I've seen, what people have told me, and what I've read in the past, when it comes to being racist towards Asians, they're a little more overt about it compared to when there's racism towards blacks. They're more covert about it. See, like a group of Asian dudes I've seen in the past will be standing in line to get to a bar, and a group of them, and they won't let them in. They'll have problems getting into the bar because it's a bunch of Asian dudes, and after they leave the line, I've heard bouncers say, yeah, I wasn't going to let a bunch of those Asian guys in here.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up, like, minority guys in this country are strategic when they go out to bars downtown in big cities. If you've got a group of, let's say, 8 to 10 brothers, and if you guys are just standing in the regular line, and if you don't have VIP, one of the suggestions is going in groups. Don't go in all at the same time.
That's like one of those inherent.
So you have to think about that. Yeah, like me, me. I've got a big family, so I go out with 10 of my cousins, and we're trying to go to a club or bar, and we aren't getting VIP. We aren't going to sit. We aren't going to all go together. We'll go separately. Two here. Maybe bring a girl with you that you're friends with, because I mean, I hate to say this, but it makes you appear as less of a threat to the authorities on the inside.
Really?
If any of that made sense.
Yeah. Wow.
And it is unfortunate, Like, I've seen guys not getting in because they have all these tattoos. Like, I've seen brothers not getting in. A brother with dreads and tattoos not getting in. He's like, those tattoos aren't acceptable. But then I'm like, But there are white guys with piercings and gauged ears and plenty of tattoos and a long beard. You can't even see any part of his skin on his face, and he has no problem getting entry into the club.
So when you're going out with your family or friends, is that inherently part of your strategy that you just like you all know like what the procedure is? It's like,
over time, it isn't inherent. It comes with experience. It isn't like the first time. It comes with experience. Like 5 of us go in and like, oh no, we can't let you guys in, or or capacity, or whatever. Yeah,
but then will you see them let other people in?
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
And you've been there to experience that.
Yeah.
Firsthand.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but I actually worked as a bouncer at a piano bar.
I actually don't think I knew that.
I worked. It was for like 2 or 3 months a few summers ago. I just needed like a little extra cash. And
what was that like?
It was being a bouncer at a bar is very interesting because depending on who's running the show, they've got rules for their staff to adhere to. Some are a little cool about staff having drinks during work. Others are very strict, like no, you cannot.
Is there ever the implication though that you need to deny certain people or that you should be aware of certain demographics?
That never happened because it was a piano bar, and this piano bar that I worked at was mostly frequented by young ladies. Like the girl to guy ratio was always, there were always exponentially more girls there than guys. So we never had to have that talk. I never worried about a big group of guys ever coming in. It was normally a big group of girls and a couple of guys that they were cool with. It was always like that. So that's why we never had to worry about that.
So what then are the responses when there is that sort of more or less overt discrimination based off of appearance? I know there's been a couple of times, and I don't know if I was with you, but there was a time when I was with a couple of African Americans, and that happened, and they were very aggressive about their opposition to the denial of their entry. So
any advice I can give to people watching, who encounter this type of situation, to anytime in the future. If it happens, just say, brush it off your shoulders and go to someplace else, where one doesn't want you, the other one welcomes you, One person's trash is another person's treasure.
That is absolutely crazy, though. That's such a, because I feel like that's not an anomaly either. It's like, the fact that there's this inherent, that you should go in groups of 2, or whatever, to make yourself seem less threatening, is... regardless of what bar you're going to, is pretty nuts, really, when you think about it. Shout
out to the Harp and Sham in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and my friend owns that place, so I gotta shout him out. He's doing his thing. And last but not least, shout out to Murphy's Irish Pub, the greatest bar in America, located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on Marquette's campus.
They know how to do beer, man. Milwaukee.
You remember I took you to Murphy's?
Mm-hmm.
I did take you to Murphy's.
You did.
If you say you know Neil Batang, just let them know you're friends with me. That's my name. My name is listed in here. Subscribe to our show and let them know you're friends with me. They will take excellent care of you. One of the greatest bars.
Yeah, it was. And
you never have to worry about it. I don't care if you're black, white, Mexican, brown. You'll never have to deal with that type of discrimination at Murphy's or the Harp and Sham. Oh, that felt good. That felt really good. I don't know why. I'm exhilarated right now. But make sure you like, comment, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know what you guys think about the whole discrimination issue regarding bouncers.
If you guys have had experiences dealing with this too, that's one of those things too. Because when Neil and I have had a couple of conversations about this, and it's been one of those things. And I was very surprised to hear about these experiences, and even talking about it right now, it's one of those things that, as a white person, I've never had to deal with anything like that. It doesn't matter. I can go in with a group of freaking 20 Polish people, and we never have to deal with that sort of suspicion or strategy when it comes to that. So it's 2 very different worlds, but I think it's again another example of the sort of things that we as Americans have to deal with on very different levels.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys check us out. Rix, you want to add anything?
We will catch you next time on the Race to 100. Peace.